Genesis 11 isn't just ancient history. It's a mirror showing us why we need Christ today at the Tower of Babel. Humanity came together to build a kingdom without God, a tower to heaven, powered by pride, rebellion, and self-salvation. And God scattered them, confused their language, divided the nations. Because sin always divides, pride always separates, and rebellion always fractures. But watch the grace of God right in the middle of judgment and scattering. Genesis 11 zooms in on one family line, Shem, down to Terah, down to Abram. When the nations walked away from God, God started walking toward the nations through a promise, because out of Shem's line would come Abraham, out of Abraham would come Israel, and out of Israel would come Christ, the one who would undo everything Babel broke. At Babel, languages were confused. But on the cross, Christ cried, "It is finished." Sin's curse was shattered, the dividing wall came down, and in the resurrection, God began a new humanity, one born again by the Holy Spirit. That's why the four Gospels all end the same way. The Lamb slain, buried, and risen, not just to forgive you, but to make you new, not just to wash your past, but to fill your future with power. And that's why the book of Acts opens with fire falling from heaven. At Babel, God scattered the nations by confusing their tongues. But at Pentecost, God gathers the nations by giving his people a new language, the language of the Holy Spirit. Babel divided, the cross unites. Babel scattered, the Spirit gathers. Babel confused the nations. At Pentecost, the nations heard the gospel in their own tongue. In Genesis 11, humanity tried to climb up to heaven. But in the Gospels, heaven came down to us. In Acts, heaven moved into us. Genesis 11 shows us the problem: pride, rebellion, scattered nations. The Gospels show us the answer: Christ crucified, buried, and risen. Acts shows us the result: a Spirit-filled people, born again, speaking one kingdom language, not the language of pride, not the language of rebellion, but the language of power, unity, and love, from Babel to the cross, from Shem to Abraham, from Terah to Christ. God was writing one story. You can't build your way to God, but God, through Christ, has built his way to you. Share this message with someone today.